Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do, no, not on the shape of the Earth, on the nature of Earth. If you do join the panel, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Flatzoid and 10th Man in the Google Hangout. How are you both doing?
Wonderful. Good morning to all.
Good morning, good morning. We've also got a few people in the Discord server.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Take them off mute though. Hello, Flatzoid. Also got, is it Dougie in the Discord server? Just unmuted. Bear with me just 1 second while I unmute our only Discord participant. I know, there's also Force, who is already unmuted, I presume, a moderator. I don't know. I know so little about this server. Right, we're all set. Hello, everybody.
Hello, I can't hear you on here, Nathan.
You can't hear me.
Discord.
You can't hear me.
I think you're muted.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can hear us. Or...
There you go. Just don't. Yeah, you will get feedback if you stay in the. There you go. All sorted. Well done. Thank you for letting me know. Can you be heard clear? Can I be heard clearly in the Discord server now, Spurs?
Can now. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Who wants to kick off some housekeeping questions?
Any signs of Earth curvature? No, guess not.
You can go.
I said it. Any signs of Earth curvature?
None here whatsoever.
All right, take the next one, Flatzoid.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No, no scientific evidence.
Any axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Still waiting for that one. I don't think so. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth? How about that one?
No, still nothing that side, sorry.
This is what they told me growing up. All these things were true. Why is it so hard?
You just didn't listen.
Any evidence for the distance of the sun?
No.
No apparent distance. Any evidence of the R value?
Are presupposed.
You listening up for the last one, Spurs?
Any evidence you can have gas pressure without the antecedent of a container to press upon?
Oh. Yeah. But I suppose it's about perspective and how you look at these things. Water. You're asking, can water conform to the exterior of an object?
No, that's not what he asked.
They say ice.
That's not what he
Ice
asked.
is water.
That's not what he asked. You're about to answer a different question. Do you want to repeat the question, 10th Man?
Yes. Any evidence you can have gas pressure without the antecedent of a container to press upon?
Simple. No.
Again, this is why I say it's perspective, right? Because an ice cube is low pressure,
The solid.
and it doesn't have a container.
That's not what he's asking either. He's not asking for antecedents for solids or liquids. Gases.
Yeah, we're not
Okay,
talking
well-
about phase transitions, as yesterday we touched on that subject, I believe.
Okay, then let's just go with no. Let's go with no.
Okay, well that concludes the
I do say
housekeeping.
it's about perspective. Yep.
It's not perspective. Objects becoming smaller in the distance / how to view a certain circumstance. That's perspective. Not phase transitions and gas pressure without containers. That's something totally different. Sorry.
It could be opinions, but not perspective.
So,
Oh,
no
you know,
offense
I
to
kind of
Spurs.
think this idea about. Have you finished, Nathan?
I was just going to say, no offense to you, Spurs. Do we have to do this again?
No, we don't. We don't actually.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. It's a hot day. Is it hot?
And it's freezing.
Hey,
for us.
Did you hear the thunderstorm last night?
Tried to film it.
The
So I set my
lightning?
phone up 240 frames per second, pointed it directly at thunder flashes that looked amazing, full on fork lightning, directly above the sky where I was pointing at. I thought it was going to be great. Go back and review the footage. Nothing. It just didn't show up. You're like, what is the point of having a bloody slow motion camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to catch it at the right
it was
time,
all
otherwise
that.
it doesn't work.
At the right time, it was pointing
That's
at a great
amazing.
big lightning flash that filled the entire sky. And I was like, awesome. That'll definitely look good in slow motion. I'll get a still out of that. Nope. What a waste of 2
Better
hours.
to take a fast burst and slow it down.
Maybe it just needs more than 240 frames per second, but I could have swore I'd caught... maybe I'm wrong and I'm just imagining it, but I could have swore I'd caught slow motion pictures of lightning in the past. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but maybe a phone just isn't fast enough to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's something to do with the aperture or something.
Maybe. Or the frame rate. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is I spent 2 hours pissing around in that lightning storm going, yeah, this will be ace. And then reviewing it after the storm had passed and going, oh, wonderful. Nothing. Literally nothing. I'll delete all of those then.
Did you guys catch Phuket's latest satire video?
No, I've not seen it. Tell me
Oh
more.
my God. I saw it this morning. It's very short. It's very cool. And I was busting up.
You'll have to tell us more than that.
Well, he's got interior video of a cruise ship tilting as the waves in the ocean are causing the ship to have a slight tilt. So he's talking about the 23-degree tilt of the Earth.
Oh, is it a parody?
I don't want to give it away. It's too funny.
Okay, it's a parody. No worries. I've got it. No, don't spoil it for me or the audience.
Oh, it's
Have you got
classic.
a link? Can you grab
Hi,
us a link?
Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
I've already been into it with some Globers on the live stream already this morning over the scientific method, which is kind of hilarious.
In the live stream, which one? The Discord?
In Discord. I posted an article that actually talked about the scientific method and adjusting. You know, you have to do the independent variable and where observation is not. You know, it actually says all the things we've been saying about observation is not a valid way of understanding causation. And it was, and then had this guy named Mr. Giggles and Truth Lover are basically trying to nail me to the wall over it. I'm using the guys, if you put your hand up in front of your eyes and you can't see, what's the cause of that? I'm going like, really? Are you kidding me? This is funny. You can go under.
Yeah, man, get on it. You better science that immediately.
Yeah, I know. They're saying that then I mean, I just posted the article because I thought it was good, and it talks about the scientific method trying to determine causes. It actually talks about determining cause and effect, and they're going after me over it.
It's
I
a
think
great.
it's hilarious. You can go.
Yeah, it's a great article.
Oh, you
I
read
haven't
it?
shared it. Yeah, I've already shared it as well. It's actually very good.
Yeah. And you can click on the links. Like if you go, when you start on it, it actually talks about, like, if you want to understand what an experiment is, you click on the link and it tells you what you have to do in an experiment, conducting an experiment, what a true experiment is, what observational research is, and you have to manipulate the independent variable. Then you click on the independent variable and it tells you what the independent variable is. It's actually a pretty good, source, but it walks you through the whole process, defining the terms and explaining the terms.
It goes in great detail.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll post it in the Skype and on the side chat in Google.
Hey, Arwin.
Hello.
Hello, Arwin.
Shout out to flatearthchannel.com. Says good morning from Toronto, Canada. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Really appreciate your support, flatearthchannel.com.
Actually, you know what? I think I may have I'd already put it in the Master B. It's already in Master B. I don't know if I was telling 10th Man about this yesterday. I actually got in the Discord. I actually got them to admit that they're really not concerned about the cause. It's all about modeling and prediction. That's all it's about.
It's all fallacy. So it's all fallacy, actually.
Hey, Paul, just put up that screenshot for Nathan to see, because it mirrors exactly what he says to them. If y equals p, and then p equals x, then x proves y. I mean, it's just classic how they think.
Yeah, here I can't do it. Let's see. I have to share my screen, so bear with me. It's actually not going to let me. Hang on a second. Let me try something different here. For some reason, it won't let me share Skype. Yeah, it's not going to let me share Skype for some reason.
Oh, Nathan,
it doesn't
so nice
for some
and fresh.
reason. No, that's a real bummer. It's a pain in my ass, that is, not being able to share Skype in the Hangout.
I know. Well, I can't even share my screen to show it, but if you... no, it's actually in Discord. Hang on, let me see.
No, just keep it on this image. It looks so nice and fresh.
It does, in this hot weather. Just share your whole screen and stick whatever it is on Skype, and that's the only way to do it, really.
Let me try. Well, actually, it won't let me do that either for some reason.
Really? Wow.
I know it's being a pain in the butt today. Let me see if I can get it into a different place and go from there. And see. Just bear with me just a second.
Why don't you just repost it on Master B so Nathan can just go to the last one and just pull it from there?
I actually know how to do that. Whenever I go to look at something that someone's just posted in Discord, I can't find the go to latest post button. I don't know where it is.
Just post it in Skype and I'll present it.
Well, it's in Master B. So if you go,
which one?
Let me think. Let me see where it's at. Chocolate posted a video about on Tuesday at 12:53, and it's before that.
That solar filter does not accurately depict the sun?
No.
Okay.
It's a screen capture of the Discord server.
Okay.
And it's I just closed it myself here.
You know what? You can look at as I'm presenting my Skype, and you can pick it up when I'm there. All right.
Do you understand what he's doing, Paul? He's
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
go back down. I don't think it's that far back. Go back down.
Oh, this
one.
There
it is, right there. That one, yeah. That's it. I actually asked him if...
Are you presenting this, yeah?
Yeah, he's Erwin is, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're up.
He says, I said, so you aren't really concerned about causes, just making predictions and modeling. And then he says, Truth says, well, the model attempts to describe what the cause relationship is in its formation. Then he goes through the X causes Y and all that stuff. And then basically that was the part that got me, is when he said that it was more of a causal, what's the term, correlation. We're looking for more correlation than they are causation, which is that there's a fault that falls apart immediately. So.
Well, isn't the correlation basically the start of trying to find the causation?
Yeah, exactly. It's the start, but it's not the final thing.
Exactly. the correlations are everywhere. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, and actually, I wish I was recording it because I was actually talking to him on the Discord. And I wish I was like, I wish I had a way to record this because I actually got I forget who it was. It might have been, let's see, the Truth or Not, whatever his name is, and Zanuck were actually admitting that it's not about causation. It's not about that. As long as we can see an effect and we can predict with it and model it, then that's all it's needed. That's basically what they were saying. I'm like, wow. So really don't. I told him, I said, don't come on the show and say the cause of gravity is the curve or the space-time curvature or mass attracting mass, because you really don't know. You really don't know. That's just your best educated guess is all you're saying.
Not even a
Have
guess.
you never experienced the fourth dimension before?
Exactly.
Come on.
It's a conceptual medium. It's not even a best guess. It's a completely made-up place.
I know. I agree with you. I kept saying that, so I kept saying to him, "How does a concept or how does a concept or construct do anything? I said, how can it do anything?" And then they kept going that word salad, throwing it at me, but they didn't really answer the question. They never could. Well, it's our predictions, our model, it's all this stuff. I said, but space-time can have no causal influence. It can't. It doesn't.
Well, it can if you presuppose it.
Right. It was hilarious. I wish I could have recorded it. It would have been fun. Maybe get some of them on here and see what we can do. See if they'll come on when they get into Discord and actually let's work this over again. So it'd be nice to get it recorded on air. Let me see if I can get Truth Lover to come into the live stream. He's in the live stream chatting. He was going at me this morning. See if he can come in and chat with us. I'm gonna message him right now. Okay. See what he says. Whoops.
All those people spamming my name in the live chat, you're welcome to join. There is a Discord link. Feel free to join and express your views.
Indeed, right the hand.
Anybody.
He's also spamming my name.
Feel free to join. There's a link in the info box below the video.
Yeah. Maybe then you can finally catch up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Some people just like being... No, you're not banned from Discord. I asked that question right the hand. I specifically asked the other day, are you banned? The answer I got was no, unless I've been misled. Can join, as far as I am aware.
Let's see, there's Big Daddy. Mr. Giggles is in there. He was going after me. And then Truth Lover is in there. He was going after me.
Oh, right hand asks, oh, so I'm not banned on site? Well, right hand, would you like to be banned on site? That you're asking?
I don't know, I don't care. Join if you want to join, if you've got something to ask. Feel free.
Nah, I think he just wants to be complaining all day. He spends a lot of time on that. You should see my Skype feed. He just keeps on posting messages to me, even though I don't talk back.
What's going on? What are we waiting on? It's so hot, I can't focus or concentrate on anything.
Oh, no, they've gone silent. They were getting on me for going silent because I'm busy like I always am. Now they're going silent when I offer them to come in and talk on air. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Sounds
You guys
familiar.
are used to my going silent for a while.
There's no pre-show today for several reasons. Mainly because of time, as is always the case. But when I finally got to sit down and set up this show, I fired up the projector. And that's the most literal way of describing turning on a projector, firing it up. And it fired up. The bulb came on, which is always a joyous occasion. Every morning it's tense moments when I turn the projector on. Will it fire up? Come on, please, please. Yes, there's the bulb. turned on, and made the horrendous racket that it's been making for days on end, and said on screen, "Fan seized, shutting down." I'm like, "Oh, but I need you. Please don't die." So I had to get my screwdriver out and lots of little attachments and the vacuum out and try and scrape out bits of fluff from where it got seized in the fan. And I've got it working again, thank God. Otherwise there wasn't going to be a show, but it was really cutting close. I was like 2 minutes to when I finally got the thing all plugged in. And then I had to rattle through all the setup process in a couple of minutes. Very stressful. But at least the damn thing's working. It's like I've been cursing it. That's probably why it failed, because I've been cursing it, even though it's actually working. So it's gone, right, you bastard. You don't like what I've been doing. I'll die completely.
So I guess you've forgotten about the rice experiment, right? Already, you forgot about that. You're cursing your projector, and it's gone moldy.
Yeah, it's an inanimate object, though. I mean, I'm attributing human-like traits to it, like it's got a personality and wants to mess me around. It hasn't, but just for fun.
It's an aberration, but you can work with that. It's called animism. I do it.
Actually, there's no cost to the fan seizing. It's just an observation you made, Nathan.
It's entropy.
But you can calculate the seizing of the fan, but you don't know the cause. But you just saw that it seized up.
Fluff is the cause. It was visually obvious. What's happened is when I took it apart to put the new bulb in, what that does is it dislodges like bits of fluff that are stuck in places that it needs to be stuck in. And obviously you don't want any fluff in it, but as soon as you open it, they all move around, and then you turn the hot fans on and it all lodges in places it shouldn't be lodged. And that was the problem, and that happens every time you take them apart. This is so flat earth related.
Yes, it is flat earth related because it's logic.
Well, it's entropy, I suppose.
question.
Everything's wearing out.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, how can you have gas pressure without a container?
No, I want to know what's the difference between the atomic model and the solar system model.
I don't know. One's a model
scale.
One's I was going to say one's a model of stuff that's small. One's a model of the stuff that's big.
Okay, so they're both bullshit.
Both models. If you reify those things into existence, then that would be a reification fallacy. They're both models.
Okay, so atoms have never been proven to be in existence, correct? Only models.
No, pretty much they do, as there are things like filters.
Okay, so show me that.
Compare one through the other, but that's about it. To truly devise what it is in a smaller scale is just.
No, you said you
apply all kinds of energies
to us already. So
hold on, just let him respond. Is it right at the hand? Thank you for joining.
No, if the solar system is a model, why isn't the atomic model the same?
It is the same. I've just said that. It is. It's just a model.
Okay, so then there is no proof of. Right? Just like there's no universe solar system.
The problem isn't having a model. You can model whatever you like. The problem is the reification bit, where you assert that is reality. So, for example, I think this.
So, like when you assert that air is bouncing. Would you say something like that? So, like when you say air is tiny tennis balls, because you're asserting what?
It's an analogy. I made that clear at the time.
Okay, so air is not bouncing tennis balls.
No, and it's not dots on a page either, but you can certainly draw it to depict what's happening, can't you? But I'm not asserting that it's little bits of graphite on a page. I'm saying it's analogous, just a way of explaining things to Spurs. Normally I would not use anything like as crude as a definition, as an example as that. But when you're dealing with somebody at that level, what else can you do? short of literally doing a
You
conspiracy
don't
with a
dumb
flipboard
yourself
and a bit of
down.
paper.
And here's the thing: you're saying that air is. Hold on. What if air is not particles bouncing around, but one cohesive fluid that?
It's not a fluid. What this
No,
arbitrary definition of fluid is incorrect because the properties of gas are very different to the properties of liquid. Now, the fact that people can term them similarly is meaningless. It's an arbitrary terminology given to two things that are very different. They may have similarities, and those similarities can be binded together in terminology. Semantics, if you will.
Okay, but you're saying that the similarities between everything is the atom, and it's the same structural unit that makes up every particular piece of matter, and you've never proven that. That is an assumption.
I've not proven that atoms are real. Is that your claim?
You have not proven that electrons, atoms, and that stuff is made up of subatomic particles or particles in general. You've not proven that. That's an assumption.
No, it's not. No, atoms are
Okay, so then
definitely
prove to me
proven.
that a brick is made up of a structure of atoms.
Yes. But you can degrade, you can miniaturize matter, and then eventually have microfilters. Ever heard of microfilters? It's very fascinating what you can do with them.
Hold on. No, you're filtering physical matter. Okay, you're still a microfilter will physically reduce the particle size. Okay, now show me those particles made up of the structure of atoms.
But that's not relevant to the model of
it
the
is
atom.
Relevant because that's
no,
what I'm
it is
asking.
relevant to the
So you're asserting,
hold on,
not
as
you're
to how
asserting
they
that
are
things
structured.
are made up.
The structure is explained
hold
through
on,
chemistry.
Arwin. Right, I know he's talked over us, but he's the one making the positive claim or challenging a positive claim. I don't know if anybody's made a claim in regards to atoms. What claim is this in regards to?
You have. You said that. You said electrons. You said that's how electricity works. You said air is bouncing particles. You've made these claims. So unless you want to totally take that analogy.
Hold on. I didn't say atoms. Hold on, Arwin. I didn't say atoms though. I said particles, did I not?
You said bouncing particles, but you don't know that. That's an assumption that you make based on observations of effects.
Oh, hold on.
You've never
particles.
seen an air.
So not atoms then. I mean, I'm not denying them either. I'm not taking a position.
Air is made up of individual particles because you can.
Yeah, I'd stand by that. What's wrong with that?
You would stand by. Okay, then don't say that it's made up of individual particles. Because you're reifying what you don't know when you do that.
No, I'm not. I mean, I gave a qualifying example with steam. The gases.
No, but steam. Hold on. Steam is water droplets. Steam is not.
Steam is gas.
No, it's not. Look it up. Steam is water droplets. You have
unbonded.
It's still matter.
It's gas.
And now you reassert the bond. You're reasserting the bond of air when you see.
Sorry, steam isn't bonded together.
You're asserting this bond of H2O. Okay, that's what you're doing when you say.
No, I'm not. H2O is not what I'm talking about. There's no.
Okay,
breaking
so what do you mean
of
when
the
you say
H2O bonds when steam is...
What is being bonded?
The loose bonds are broken when there's a phase change and it becomes free to move in. Why are you talking over me all the time, right? I've stopped
because you
doing
just
it
keep
to you,
saying
but you're
bonds.
talking over me.
You keep saying bonds, but you're not defining what bonds. What bonds are breaking?
Bonds held together. Meaning held together. I'll try to, but you seem to be talking over me.
Bonds. It has a specific term.
Sorry, Arwin,
I'm
trying to, but he just keeps talking over me. I don't get it. Yeah, bonded together, as in visually, obviously bonded. Water, it's held together.
Okay, so you can see water being held together through a time.
Yeah, it's visually bloody obvious. Yes. Same with ice.
So you're observing. So you're observing a phenomenon, or you're.
No, I just said it's visually bloody obvious. It's not a phenomena. The phase change.
What is obvious?
That could be argued to be a phenomena, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not discussing the phase change. I'm talking about the state. Steam is gas.
No, hold on. No, steam is droplets of water.
Yes, I appreciate
that.
Understand? And that's gas when it's unbonded and free to move in all directions randomly, unbonded.
Water is not a gas.
Why are you talking over me again?
Droplet of water is a.
Right the hand. Why are you doing it again? I don't understand. This is a reasonable conversation between two people until I'm talking, and then mid-sentence you start talking. So do you want to talk reasonably, like reasonable men, or not?
Okay, so is steam a gas or
Yes.
is steam water drop?
Yeah, it's water vapor, gas. Water
Until it
droplets in
recondensates.
gaseous form. Yes, that's correct. Water
How
is in...
is a water droplet
I'm
in a...
still in the middle of talking. Again, what is your malfunction?
how is a water droplet
I
in
haven't
a-
finished talking.
That's a
So if you don't
contradiction.
mind,
That's a
this is going to be a
contradiction,
short
Nathan. You can't have a
conversation,
water
right the hand.
droplet in a gas
You're just
form.
raising my blood pressure. I don't need this. It's
I know,
too hot of a
because you're
day.
wrong. How you
While
can't
I'm
have a
talking,
water droplet in
I'm
a
just going to
gas
kick you out
form.
then. That's the end of our conversation, is it? Because you can't have a back and forth conversation without talking through me. Is this the end of
That
our
is
conversation, right the
exactly-
hand?
That is
No,
exactly
just,
the
address-
issue.
Here I can.
Dave, I'm talking to right the hand. Is this the end of our conversation because you are incapable of letting me finish a sentence?
Address the contradiction of a water droplet not being a gas.
It is a gas.
It's
Water
not a
vapor.
water
A water
droplet
droplet
as
is
long as
not-
it's steam. It's only when it recondensates when it becomes a droplet again, right the hand.
No, steam is not a gas. Steam is water
is.
droplets. When you hold
Let
your
him
No,
say
hand
it.
that's only
hold
when
on,
it
Owen,
when you hold your hand
Owen,
over steam,
Owen! Let him say his piece.
if you are boiling water and there is steam coming out of the kettle and you put some sort of object over it, you will collect water. It is not a gaseous thing. You are collecting.
Yeah, water's got 3 states.
Okay, and it never
Condensation,
went to
yes.
the gaseous state when you boil water.
Yeah, you're if you want to put your stamp on this, right the hand, like Spurs,
I am.
I've got no issue. I
I
just
will.
prefer that while I talk, you don't.
turned water
And it
into-
seems that while I'm talking again, you're talking, aren't you? Last chance. I'll say it one last time, right the hand. While I'm talking, you aren't. Okay? Good. So, I don't mind you putting your flag on steam is not a gas. No worries.
Okay, so you have to admit you never turned water into a gas. You only turned it into steam, correct?
Yeah, gas. That would be a gas.
No, we just went over that steam is water droplets.
So what does that
Water-
prove?
If it doesn't turn into a gas but becomes water droplet, what is happening?
Water
It's just
droplet, what's the
teleporting
point?
upwards?
It's got different
Is
phases.
it moving in midair?
Yeah,
What is
H2O has
going
different
on?
phases. Solid, liquid, and gas. It's still H2O in every
H2O.
single
What is
phase.
H2O? What is H2O?
Water. It's got 3 phases.
You just
Solid,
said H2O. What-
liquid, and gas. It's still
Please explain
called
H-
water in every single state. It doesn't change what it is at a chemical level. It's still water. It's just either loosely bonded, liquid, no bonds, gas, or tightly bonded, solid. But it's still
What's
water
H2O?
in every single instance.
I've got a definition of that for steam.
What's H2O? You use that term. What is it?
Hydrogen and 2 oxygens.
Oh, so you have an
Steam, if
atomic
you see-
bond,
look.
right?
If
We're
you
not
see
breaking those
steam,
atomic
that means
bonds.
that it's recondensating.
Wait, hold on.
We're not breaking those
Are
bonds.
you saying that water is made up of is an atomic bond, right?
Yeah, but we're not saying those bonds are the ones that are being broken. You're not breaking the H2O bonds.
I'm not saying that. Are you saying water is made up of an atomic bond?
Yeah, you can use electrolysis and get
I didn't ask you. I
out
asked.
of it. You can use electrolysis. What's the
I didn't.
point?
Oh, I'll get into electrolysis if you want to. I'm asking Nathan. Is
I know,
Nathan?
but what's the
Are you
point?
Okay.
affirming that that water is an atomically made up structure of hydrogen?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
You got to remember.
Okay, now hold on. Let me stop interrupting. Now, did you not just before say that the atomic model and the solar system model are both models and don't reaffirm?
That's correct. That's why when I describe it, I just describe it
Oh,
in
okay,
the
hold on,
visual.
hold on,
I'm
hold on, hold on.
talking.
So
I'm
you
talking.
Don't know that,
I'm
hold on, so you
talking.
don't know
Hello? Yeah. When I
You're getting
describe it.
aggravated 'cause I'm
Yeah,
waiting.
I'm in the middle of a bloody sentence, 10th man. I'll give you one last chance. You've addressed me and now I'm responding. Don't just decide when I've finished responding. I'll decide. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
When I describe those 3 states, I don't describe H2O. I use the word water. Yeah, now while, as far as I'm aware, that's an accurate description at an atomic level, I'm not claiming that. In my explanation to Spurs, I used the word water, and I described it as particles, and described the bonds that they have, or the lack thereof, when being in a gaseous state. That's it. I'm not arguing anything beyond that. That's my only point, that it's a gas, free to move in all directions, unbonded. That's it.
Okay, so you'll take back the H2O part, that it's made up of
chocolate.
hydrogen and oxygen.
What does it have to do with housekeeping? How can you have gas pressure without a container? That's the question.
You can't. It's an antecedent. Antecedent consequent. Look it up.
So what does this H2O do when it evaporates? It goes up and does what? It goes up and it evaporates.
Hold on.
Look, it hits the level.
Hold on. Do you see
want an answer?
water evaporate,
or
are you just
he can have an answer
it?
with 2 words. Do you want an answer, David? Hydrological cycle. Look it up.
What is it caused by? Temperature.
Sorry, did you look up the hydrological cycle in those 3 seconds?
Yes, I understand it. The whole situation is that it all does that because of temperature, correct?
No, temperature exchange. It's the changing of temperature that does it, not just
and
temperature.
Relative to the pressure of the temperature and pressure are related. You can have a
what's
higher
the claim
temperature
being
at higher
made?
pressures
Who
in the same
cares?
state.
There's a correlation. That's correct. A correlation.
Sorry,
not
I
causation.
just want to round this out with 10th Man. Was there anything else, 10th Man? If not, we'll move on to David.
No, I just asked the last housekeeping question. I've been listening.
I actually meant, I got you confused with right the hand. I meant to say right the hand, sorry. Is there anything else, right the hand?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that water doesn't turn into a gas. It boils into steam, which is just a vapor. It's droplets. So you've just decreased the size and split up the...
Do you want to go
because
again?
here's the thing, we're trying. When you say we look at something, we can't prove cause just from the observation of an effect. So when we observe water boiling, yes, we observe the bubbles and we observe the everything that we observe. But when you start saying that what we observe is because of X, then I have a problem with that, because that's the same thing ballers do when they drop something and say it's gravity. So when we observe light go through a slit and rainbow out, that's observing an effect. Now, just because you observe an effect and can create a theory that can reasonably explain it doesn't mean it's correct, because that's exactly what ballers do when they drop a rock and say this explains it.
That's a total red herring. That's a total straw man, because we actually do try to find a causal relationship and not just make claims without it. That's what the ballers do. That's not what we do.
Okay, it's a ham-handed segue from steam is not a gas to the double slit experiment isn't valid.
It was just, I'm just saying we have to have the same standard of scrutinization for everything.
Yeah, we do. Scientific.
Did you know, real quick, let me ask them this question. Did you know I can actually, using two methods, boil water. I can either put it in a vacuum and remove the pressure and the water will boil, or I can add heat to it and it will boil. So pressure can cause both of those. Lack of pressure.
Well, you're lowering the temperature as well when you pull a vacuum.
So it becomes, when it boils, it's becoming a gas, right?
Yep.
You can also say it's expanding because you're removing the pressure around it.
Right, but it's boiling, becoming a gas, right?
Yes.
Well, no, you're observing an effect. You're saying it's boiling and it's turning into a gas. I'll say that you're removing the pressure around it and it's expanding. You know, so observation of effect and your theory for it doesn't prove the cause. This is my whole point. You can't just observe an effect and then assert.
Owen, I don't mind if you have a back and forth with him, right? But you're talking through him, and I'm not hearing what he's saying.
What about nitrogen? You want to talk about water? We all know that water evaporates and it just disperses into the atmosphere until it hits a temperature and comes back down. We all understand that.
So what? What's your claim?
Is the housekeeping question: how can you have gas pressure without a container? Where and who came up with that housekeeping question?
I did.
Okay, that it's universal though. You've got to understand, Nathan. This is just about the situation of you can have gas pressure without a container if you are surrounded by cold. Okay, temperature does cause pressure. That's what it makes the difference.
No worries.
Pressure is different.
David, we've already smashed this into the middle of next week twice. But you're making a positive assertion.
You hadn't. Not with me, you hadn't.
And there we go. I'm talking, so David's talking. You're making a positive assertion that the container is cold. Somehow cold is containing us. Well, can you demonstrate that?
Well, you can demonstrate it because you can't have, if you compress gas either hot, it's going to get hot, and if you release it, it's going to get cold. So just to even compress air to begin with, in a man-made experiment, you're going to have a change in temperature of those gases, right?
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Can you show us cold acting as a container? Yes or no?
When you compress air, it gets hot. And when
I heard this red herring nonsense. I'll ask my question for the third time. Can you back your baseless assertion that cold is acting as a container?
No, you just asked me how about pressure. Okay, you say gas pressure. How do you weigh a helium balloon, Nathan? How do you weigh a helium balloon? How do you weigh something?
You put it in a vacuum chamber.
David, you seem to be David. The only way you're measuring it hold that way. I know it's the point where my question to you demolishes your argument. You don't have to talk through every word I say when I repeat my question. Please don't talk through my repetition of my question. You have made a claim. Cold contains the air. Now, we are asking for some cowbell. Some actual evidence to back your baseless assertion that cold contains the air. Now, please, can you demonstrate what you have claimed? Please.
Okay, an ice cube. An ice cube is containing the oxygen and water molecules into a frozen state. Until you warm that ice cube
David, I'm just going to interrupt you and say, would you like my 2-year-old, turning 3 tomorrow, to explain that an ice cube isn't the atmosphere? It's actually a solid. It's not a gas. So just button your lips, and I'll make it absolutely abundantly clear by just repeating the question that we ask daily. How can you have, I'll say this bit nice and slowly because you're dumb, deaf or stupid, gas pressure without a container? Now, when I ask you to demonstrate that cold can contain gas, you show me an ice cube. That's a solid.
That's right, Nathan. That's how simple this conversation is.
Oh, really? Well, we haven't got ice going in and out of our lungs. We've got air, a gas, not a solid ice cube.
What would happen if you melted that ice cube and it turned it into a gas? Then you
Just to make clear for the audience, I've asked him to back his baseless assertion that cold can contain the atmosphere. He's given us ice cube, meaningless, nonsense, and then this is what we get afterwards.
What about the gas from dry ice, David?
I don't know. Through this logical reasoning, he's only presuming there is an ice dome. That's it.
Dry ice is frozen nitrogen. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be a gas anymore, though.
The atmosphere is made up of supposedly 78% nitrogen. Water is just a small part of it. The water in the atmosphere, you've got all these other different gases in the atmosphere, and they all have different freezing temperature ranges. So why do you think like helium goes up? Helium will go up until it gets to a point where it can't go any higher because of the temperature. It won't travel any higher.
Oh, because of the temperature? Yeah, that's another baseless assertion that we've asked you to back with actual evidence, David, but you don't seem to want to do it. You just keep wanting to throw out these baseless assertions without actually backing them with any evidence whatsoever. It seems really irritating to me that we would smash this twice into the middle of next week and all you would do is come back and keep reasserting it, and then not backing any of your baseless assertions with any evidence. Annoying.
we give you the answers for everything you've asked so far, but you just don't want to deny them. So you're kind of acting like a baller now. See, you know what?
Oh, excuse me. So you've demonstrated that cold can act as a container, have you? You lying sack of garbage. No, I'm not acting like a baller. I've asked you to back your baseless assertion, and you've not done so. What you've done is accuse me of being a baller and rejecting the evidence that you presented when you haven't presented any. Only a baseless assertion, and then a few random factoids about the gas in our atmosphere. That's not evidence of cold containing anything. That's horseshit. How dare you? How dare you? And then talk when I haven't finished. What a prick. Then call me a baller. No, my friend. Asking you to back your baseless assertion isn't behaving like a baller. It's asking you to back your baseless assertion.
I've answered every question that you're wanting to know. It's just...
Oh, here's a question. Can you give us a demonstration of cold containing air, please?
Solid. How do you do it?
Oh, is it straight onto a question to me, is it, David? What a shock. You've just said you answered every question. Here's a question. There's a question mark at the end. Can you demonstrate cold containing atmosphere, or can you only rumpus the living shit out of the Discord server while I ask you this question? You've answered every question, have you? No, you haven't. Do you want me to ask it again for a 6th or 7th time?
And why is my ice cube...
why are you asking me a question? You said you answered every question. You haven't answered this question. Why haven't you answered this question? The question being, can you demonstrate, that's the question part, your baseless assertion that cold can contain anything? Air in this instance. Have you answered that? No.
Yeah,
liar.
You can't... Yeah,
liar.
Because it's
liar.
Like
you've not answered my question, liar. You said you'd answered everything, liar. You're just a liar, David. Liar.
What you want to say?
You're a liar.
Ice
You're a liar.
cube is not gas, David.
You're a liar, David.
Ice cube is not gas.
What you want me to do, right, Nathan? Let's discuss the demonstration that you want me to do. You want me to show you how I can compress air.
No, listen up, you deaf retard. I want you to give a demonstration of gas containing atmosphere. That's your claim. And now you're saying about compressed blah blah blah. No. You claim cold is what contains the gas. So demonstrate it, you fundy zealot. Don't just claim it and then tell me that your ice cube example isn't acceptable by me because I'm a glober. That's horseshit. No, you'll actually demonstrate your baseless assertion.
How do you measure this weight?
Don't ask me something. You demonstrate what you've claimed. Yeah? I'm asking you if you can demonstrate it. You've claimed, because you're a liar, that you've answered all my questions. You haven't. You haven't answered this question. Can you demonstrate cold containing the atmosphere?
How do you measure that?
Don't ask me anything. Stop asking me questions. You've got a baseless assertion. I'm asking you to back it. So back it. Last chance. All you're doing is rumpusing the hell out of the Discord server. I'm not going to tolerate it much longer. So either you answer with a demonstration, or I kick you out, David. I've had enough of you rumpusing the Discord server.
Look, David, the only consequence of your argument is, well, that there must be a solid ice dome out there. Consequentially, from reasoning out that it's get colder and colder and colder. Look, it's a natural consequence of all materials that if it gets cold enough, it will eventually turn solid. So by that train of thought, at some point, it would be inevitable to bump into an ice dome if there is no other type of physical dome before that point. That is the train of thought. It's not an open container with a vacuum next to it.
Nathan will appreciate this answer. I cannot prove what the sky is.
Oh, well, then stop claiming it then. Yeah, do you mind? You keep telling us about this cold holding stuff in. That's a baseless assertion, a claim you've made that you can't prove. Yeah, that's the bit that you didn't answer, you lying sack of garbage. I asked you to actually prove it. That was a question. And you didn't answer it. Now you've made it clear that you can't prove what you're claiming. So stop claiming it. It's just that simple. You don't have to claim that what the sky is doing.
Right?
Why are you interrupting me?
You're missing the point here.
The point is you can't prove it. You've just made that clear.
Explanation, David. I actually addressed your concept. Did you hear what I said?
Do you understand that anything in the sky would have to come from the Earth? So any of the gases on Earth can only go so high because once they hit a certain temperature, they're not.
Well, you didn't listen to what I said, did you? You didn't hear a word I said, did you?
Any other gas nitrogen or any other gas that goes up is only going to go up so high until it hits a temperature and it's going to fall back down.
It's meaningless.
Let me address that. Let me address that real quick, Nathan, if you don't care. David, let me ask you.
Addressing this freaking Fruit Loop.
Well, this will help. Hang on.
Stop feeding him.
Well, here's the.
Not
This
listening
is a
to
valid question.
anything. I just gave him a good argument.
You're rumpusing Paul.
Okay, David, what is the boiling point of oxygen and nitrogen and other gases?
What is what? I know the freezing point. I'm not sure what the boiling point is.
Well, remember we've been talking about phase changes. You know, nitrogen and oxygen have a liquid state. They can have a liquid state. At what temperature does the liquid state turn into a gas?
I'm not sure on the gas on nitrogen. Oxygen is going to do it at when you start boiling it. So nitrogen is, I'm not sure about that because you can't, nitrogen, nitrogen is not, the only way you can weigh nitrogen is to compress it, right?
No, that's not my question. Nitrogen.
For the love of God. Sorry, Paul. You asked him about boiling points, right? So what does he start talking about? Something completely different when you know and you're just trying to ask him if he knows or not. Not to babble on incessantly about something totally different.
I don't know about the boiling point of nitrogen. I don't know that you can boil nitrogen.
Well, then shut up. You don't know, so shut up. Just say, I don't know. Have some humility and shut your stupid mouth. That's all you've got to do if you don't know.
Oh, he doesn't know. He's making shit up and talking backwards on shit just to try to...
No, he isn't.
Most of my questions are very pertinent to the discussion. Would you agree? Anybody on the panel disagree? Okay, usually.
Did David just really say that Paul is making shit up when he's talking about coal can be some type of container and he hasn't proven it and he's just spitting nonsense for this past 10 minutes? Are you kidding?
I already gave him a logical consequence of his train of thought, and he literally...
He's not even trying to listen to anybody. He's just asserting his retarded question again and again and again with nothing to back it up. It's nonsense. And then wants to tell Paul he's making shit up. That's adorable.
And I was just asking a question on top of that. Heat is kinetic energy inside of a substance, okay? Certain substances boil at different temperatures. Water boils at roughly 200 degrees at sea level in our atmosphere. In our atmosphere, or in our atmosphere, oxygen boils at about negative 300 degrees, I think, or something to that effect. Okay, so
what do you mean boils at negative? See how you're trying to talk backwards? That's freezing it. It freezes it. You can't have a negative.
Okay. He's just said, sorry, just to make this clear for the audience. He's just made it clear only about 60 seconds ago, maybe 2 minutes ago, that he doesn't know about this particular phase change. But now he's going to tell Paul what's what and how he's wrong.
What does negative mean?
Don't ask him. He's making an example for you, the bonehead here. Yeah? So again, I'll said it twice. You don't need to say anything you don't know. You just need to shut up and listen.
I know when somebody's talking bullcrap or not. That's what...
You just made it clear you don't know. You've got no idea about these phase changes in this particular element. You don't know about it. You're being told, but you're interrupting non-stop and telling him he's making it up when you haven't even heard him come to the end of his example yet. Shout out to Evan5935 for the super chat. Can we stop entertaining fools with foolish points? No, all are welcome.
Well, Dallas, you have to make one point and then let people respond.
Nathan, if you're standing outside and there's helium in there, how are you getting gas pressure on you, huh?
Hey, Jose, hey,
we know there's helium in the air, right? There's helium in there. There's trace amounts of helium in there, right? How is it putting gas pressure on you, Nathan? Yes or no?
Didn't hear your question. Why are you asking
He's not going to answer it because you.
Well, because Paul's in the middle of doing something, right? And you've completely hijacked him. You won't let him make his point. You're going to ask us random crap. It's really irritating. Paul was in the middle of something. You know, his point's been completely lost. You're going to reassert the same shit and ask us the same questions over and over again, rather than let Paul make a new point.
I just came in to say, relax, Nathan, and shout out to David Shout out to David.
I'm relaxed.
See, we do away with gravity on this thing too. See, you know what they tell the ballers say that the reason all the gases stay in because of gravity. And so I guess you guys agree with the ballers that gravity is holding all these gases in, right? Or the only other thing you can
I'm
say
addressing
is
that, David, if you'll listen to me.
This is
David, if you'll listen, I will address that.
Aggravating and retarded.
The ballers say that the atmosphere of the Earth stays on the atmosphere because of gravity, right? We live in a gravity well.
What?
David, you really
David,
don't
what the hell are you talking about,
What the hell
man?
are you babbling about, you stupid moron? A gravity well? What? A well of the bending of space-time? This guy's a glober. I said it weeks ago and everyone's like, no, he's a flat earther. He's just told us we live in a gravity well.
No,
That's
he
just
didn't.
bullshit.
He was
That's
trying
the
to
claim he's just
strawman
made.
us with that. He's like, oh, we're not going along with your freaking retarded idea that leads nowhere. As I already explained to you what the logical consequence of your train of thinking is gonna be, and you didn't listen. Okay.
Well, Erwin, let me make my point. Would
Yes,
you?
please, Paul.
I've got a point, please. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. For one, if the boiling point, which basically oxygen, and I've got it on screen, what the boiling point of oxygen is, which is a gas that we breathe every day. Its boiling point or boiling temperature is negative 297 degrees. Okay, so it changes from a liquid state to a gaseous state at that point. So for him to say that cold is the cause of causing gas to go back into, let's say, even just to a liquid state, he's going to have to prove that the temperature up there reaches this temperature. And the thing you have to address right off the bat is the thermosphere, which drives the temperature up to over 1,000 degrees. So he's going to have to address this issue. That was my point. Because if the highest you go on a peak is negative 50 degrees, right? Even he said that, I think, a few days ago. So really, you'll have to go even higher to prove that the temperature reaches negative 297 degrees to cause oxygen to come back together and fall back down.
And with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you tuned in, smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. Massive thank you to all of today's live panel for making this live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!